One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back. Our friends over at Fire on the Mountain have decided something. Do you want to know what it is?
What? Yeah.
I'm glad you asked what it is.
What have they decided?
They've decided that you're hungry.
Yeah,
And
they're
they've
right.
also decided that they want to feed you delicious food.
You want to know what else?
What?
They have a happy hour.
What?
Yes. Weekdays between 2 and 5, they've got all draft beer is $1 off, and you can get a small fry, a small tot, or a small house salad for $5.
One tot?
Well, one.
Oh, okay. An order. I got
I
it.
would just like one tot.
order of a small tot.
Can you put it in my hand for a dime?
Yeah. And what else, Apple? What else you got?
Well,
to tell
we
us?
talk about their food all the time. We've neglected a couple of the awesome things they have, like the sweet potato fries. They got pork nachos. They got their Tejas chips and queso. They got a whole array of sandwiches at all their locations.
And of course, their famous brewing wonderful beer.
Oh yeah. You can't leave out the wonderful brewed deliciousness that they have over at Fire on the Mountain. And hey, here's the thing. This isn't just delicious food in Portland or Denver. 3 locations in Portland, 2 locations in Denver. It's not just that.
Nope.
It is the Grateful Dead family serving you delicious food.
Wow.
So what's better than our own family cooking food that they put their love and intention and joy into, and then give it to you, and then you actually can physically eat love, joy, and intention in the form of delicious chicken wings.
I know it's better.
What?
When they also cook deep fried Oreos and deep fried Twinkies for you.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty awesome. But what if they put love in that stuff?
Then it's even better.
They also cater. That's another awesome thing. So say you want to throw a cute little office party and you want something fun and delicious.
It is that time.
They
of
got
year.
you.
Your New Year's party.
Fire
you got
on the
friends
Mountain.
coming over. Have Fire on the Mountain bring all the stuff, and you'll be the hit. So go to Fire on the Mountain. 3 locations in Portland, 2 locations in Denver. You can go to portlandwings.com if you are feeling sad right now because you don't live in either of those places. Order yourself some swag. Get yourself some sauces. You can have a party at home with swag and sauces. Fire on the Mountain.
And if you have that party at home, make sure to invite us.
Yeah, please do. We'll be there in 5 minutes. Don't be sad. I don't want you to be sad.
About what?
I don't want to be sad.
You didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, or you forgot to get that one person something for Christmas that you really love. Go to shoptourbus.com and hook them up with one of the amazing Grateful Dead inspired designs over there. And it's going to come to you in a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box or an all-over printed box. It's up to you. You got to let them know.
And that one-of-a-kind box is going to come with it's going to come with your t-shirt perfectly rolled up in it, the comfiest tee you've ever worn. And then it's going to be adorned with a piece of twine that holds it together with usually some kind of a print that's wrapped around that. a lot of intention, and then you're not done yet. There's gonna probably be some. I've got boxes with candy, action figures, little Hot Wheels.
I got a miniature Jerry
all kinds
hand.
of stuff. You never know what you're gonna get. Surprises never end over at Shop Tour Bus.
Some of you might even get a Miracle Grateful Dead
Bootleg.
in your order, and they're giving you free shipping when you put in the promo code No Simple Road. All one word when you check out. There you go, free shipping, because they are part of the No Simple Road family, and they love you, and we love you, and Shop Tour Bus loves you. Go to shoptourbus.com.
Boom.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out. Good for you to hold them in. That's for sure. You hold in the farts and you get a stomach ache. And yeah, it's not good.
Wow.
And then the only thing you can think about is holding it in.
Yeah, it's like, and it feels like when they would question people and they would have like the light on them in a dark room and they're sitting in the chair and like one bead of sweat goes dripping down their forehead. That's what it feels like when you're trying to hold in a fart.
Yeah, don't suppress your bodily functions.
Hey now, No Simple Road family, welcome back
Welcome
to our
back.
weekly rewind. This is Aaron.
This is Mel.
And this is Apple.
And Darwin's over there. He fell in the kitchen tonight, everybody, and couldn't get up. And it was sad.
He did like the Bambi fall with his legs splayed out, and he... Look, guys, just pray for Darwin all the time. Just assume that Darwin loves/needs/wants your prayers.
Yep.
Yeah, he needs all
good
that
energy, good
distance
vibes,
Reiki, all kinds of things.
Reiki, good thoughts, all
said
of it.
when he did that, it was such a thud. I said to Aaron, I was like, you like realize how big he is sometimes when he does something like
Dude,
that.
when he fell down the stairs, well, he's done it multiple times.
He
But
sounds like a silly, like a kid that doesn't know what
like
he's
a
doing.
goofball.
Yeah.
But when he fell, it sounded like one of you guys took a tumble. It sounded like
I remember Sydney said
Ryder or
it.
something.
She was
What
like, I
the
thought you fell down the stairs,
Yes.
Apple.
I fell down the stairs the other day.
Oh my God.
I fell down the...
Were you holding in a fart?
No, I wasn't. The fart made me fall. No, I was going down into the basement and I was wearing socks and I slipped and usually I'm able to catch myself, but I didn't. And I fell on my hand/wrist. But if I didn't fall on my wrist, I would have fell with my low back on the edge of that step.
Oh shit!
Because I kind of like slipped like that
backwards.
And so I
with your butt out.
I held like, thank God my wrist doesn't hurt, but that would have totally fucked me up.
I just could say I've done pretty good. I remember when we moved into this house in 2016. You guys were jokingly like, let's bet how long it's going to take Apple to fall down the stairs. I've never fallen down the stairs yet. I've fallen up the stairs twice, like running with the box, not running, but like hustling up the stairs and fell forward with box right into my chest.
Come on, let's be honest, Apple. You've never hustled in your life.
Yeah. Hustle all the time, man.
Hustle and Apple in the same sentence. That doesn't sound right.
Moving faster than normal.
That's that you guys know I hustle sometimes.
Kidding,
it's not a common thing to catch me, hustling in nature.
In nature.
Speaking of hustling, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
For all acquaintances.
It's coming this weekend.
It's this weekend. And I don't know about you all.
What are you doing?
She's providing the background music for the
go ahead.
so, yeah. One thing I'm excited about this year is that it's on a Saturday night.
Hell
a lot of times it's like on a work, like one of us has to work the next day or something. We get to party Saturday.
It feels all right.
At Polyrhythmics with a whole bunch of our friends and listeners, and we get to like hang out and chill the day after.
You know what song that reminds me of? Beck. Hell yes, I'm going to fun. Hell yes, I'm correct.
Is that the name of the song? Is
I like that.
Okay, I don't know the words, but I know.
Actually
I
know
like
the song just from
the I like your version though.
But there is no deet deet deet.
No,
deet deet deet. That's a whole nother matter.
It could be dee 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 dee. Look up the song. Everyone will thank me later.
So yeah, as you're looking up the song and thanking Mel, let's take a moment and go back. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? This year has been monumental for No Simple Road, and I have to say, like, if you are a constant, long time, sometime, often listener of the show, you know that like coming out of 2019 into 2020, we've talked about this a lot since. There was a wave that was happening for us, and when 2020 happened to all of us, it really hit hard
and crashed that wave
and crashed the wave all over our faces. And I really feel like this year, 2022, that wave started back up.
Oh yeah,
we caught the wave again, and there's been a lot of really milestone, monumental things that have happened in the past year for the three of us individually, as a group, all of it. And Mel and I were talking about what we wanted to do for this. Well, that we have one more episode before the end of the year, but
we want to do like a little recap.
Yeah.
Like I said to the guys the other day, I was like, how about if we come up with, and I know it's going to sound a lot, but between the three of us, 22 things. I don't
think I can do 22.
No, you can't, not just each. Okay. 22 total milestone moments for the year, because it's so hard to, like, we have our ones that are the most recent, but there's so many cool things that have happened through the year that at the moment it was like, oh my God, this is so rad. Like a certain person that we booked, or even a conversation that we had after. And I think that it'd be fun to kind of go through that and do that.
Go through that and do that.
All right,
go through that and do that.
Fuck it.
Dead.
That's it.
Shit.
Well, it doesn't have to be 22.
That's a lot. 7
look,
each
it's
is
22 years.
It's so funny.
I mean, 20, no, not 22 years, but it's 22. 2022.
What is? Oh, the year.
The number.
2020.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's why.
Yeah.
It didn't just come out of nowhere.
I think
So I did the same thing when Mel proposed that. I was like 22, and she's like, "No, split between us. What's 22 divided by 3?" I was like, "Well, that's 7. We'd have to do 7 and a third."
7 and a third, and then that third, I said, what we'll all do
share.
is we will pick one, and all of us will have to guess what that other one
I'm
would pick.
gonna step in
You're stepping.
I'm just giving you guys everything
for
that happened
brevity's sake,
behind the
because
scenes.
that's a long thing. I'm gonna say 3 each.
That's boring.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3.
I fell asleep already.
Okay. Okay, 3 and a third each. We could start with 3.
Why do you always got to make the rules?
Yeah. What if I worked on the last couple of days? What if
Exactly.
I have 22 for myself?
Dang, Apple
I know
goes
for
first
a fact
then.
you don't have 22, and if you do, please
I
go
can
ahead.
start. Okay. I will start.
Ooh, I love
With
Apple
number
starting.
1 in January. Where everybody sit back. If you have a smoking pipe,
I
get it
love
out.
it. Hell, dude, I
load
wish
your
I would've got
bowls.
mine.
No, I'm not going to do 22.
Thank you.
No, because I figure, I mean,
so boring.
like Aaron said, we had a hell of a year. We had a hell of a lot of guests. I would say I'll start with number 1 just because it reminded me when I looked at this, our first episode of the new year was Karina Reichman.
What?
Aw.
And like, what way to kick off the new year with
Tons of
somebody
energy.
that has, that just brings the energy and is such a ray of sunshine and is just out there rocking her ass off all the time.
That's the truth.
Looking at her Instagram, anytime a performance is put up that Karina does, it's like, I'm always like, that is so metal. Her with that big bass, she's amazing. And she joined us to kick off the new year.
Okay, hang on a minute. I have an idea. Instead of just rehashing what everybody can go look at on Instagram, the most meaningful moment, plural, of the year for each of us. How about that? Because anybody can just go scroll Instagram and go, yeah, they had Karina on January, and then in February, that, you know what I mean? Like,
They don't know what that means to us.
But to me too, that's I have to like searching through the year today to find those moments and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
I'm not going to go through and no, I can come up with 52 right now.
You can. Yeah, I just think that like there's been a lot of monumental shit for each of us this year.
Well, that to me, that's my first. Karina is dope and helped us kick off the new year.
Okay.
And that was an awesome interview.
All right, I'll go ahead right behind it. And one of the awesome things that I loved was February 3rd, we went to the Wonder Ballroom, and this group was so dope. We had Cody, we had Bree, we had Kelly, we had Bryce, we had Tiffany, Ben, Dave, and then the 3 of us. And it was a freaking
Do you remember
blast.
who we saw?
Goose.
Oh, shit.
Sure do.
Goose.
2 nights.
That was really incredible. And
Is that when Brian and Danae?
no,
No, they came
No.
to Pigeons.
Yeah.
Oh, Pigeons. Okay.
Yeah.
All these bird bands.
But it was
dude.
kind of
Uh-huh.
nice because Goose was like, that was like kicked off February, and it was just such a great show. And like the people it was just such a fun night. It was a really, really fun night.
Yeah. Those Goose shows, I'm going to put that at one of the moments. There was a moment at that show that Ben and I shared that solidified our brotherhood forever.
Oh,
And that I just remember seeing the last song of the first night, and the show ended, and we were walking out, and I was like, we are never going to see Goose in a room this size ever again. Wonder Ballroom is like maybe 700.
Yeah, probably 700 or maybe 1,000 tops or
Tops,
so because
yeah.
they got the balcony.
Yeah.
It's not that big.
So those shows were super monumental for the beginning of the year to like set the tone for what was going to happen and kick things off. Your turn, Apple.
That
was me.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You like kind of piggybacked
Mhm.
on that one. Okay. We don't really have to go in order. Okay. To
No.
me, I would say this is one of the tops for me this year, which is in my top 3 is celebrating Northwest String Summit out at Horning's Hideout. not only is it so special, it was like I said, the swan song. This was the 20th and final one. And it is, first of all, it's in our own backyard. We're like a half hour away from it. It is stepping into another world. It's like just this village pops up over the 4 days. And we just got to celebrate with everybody. We're always so welcomed by Sky and the whole organization. And we just had everybody there, just had such a good time. It was such a party. It was my favorite thing we did this year.
Wow. That's
saying a lot.
That is definitely saying a lot.
And it's tough to say that with all the things.
It really
because we
is
did
tough.
other things that I'm sure you guys will touch on. But String Summit was really special.
There's a couple like that tied for first things in my mind
Okay.
of the year.
I don't know if I could do a first because that's so.
There's two things. So the first is that fart that Mel just cut here in the room. The second,
That was Darwin.
That was Darwin.
No.
The first is the Dick's weekend and what happened with Nathaniel.
What? Yes.
Because that
yes.
to me is a distillation of all the work that we've done for 5 years plus.
Yeah.
Was what happened with Nathaniel and also the music that Fish played over that weekend. Like that was, and just like Christina and Ferd and Cody and Chris and just all the people that were there with us and just the way it felt and sitting down with Nathaniel. If you haven't listened to that episode, I'm like seriously begging you, go back and find Nathaniel's episode and listen to it. It is everything that I had hoped that No Simple Road would be. And he said it in the best kind of a way and explained it through his eyes. And it was fresh in the moment, sitting on the back porch of our Airbnb after a wild night at Dick's.
Episode 281.
Okay. And the feeling that gave me was like, there's milestones in our lives of like, especially if you're running your own business or doing something creative where you feel like you've accomplished something. And that let me know that we had accomplished what I had hoped that we had been doing.
To piggyback on that, in like for you, like you talk about the creative, like as an artist, for me to hear everything that Nathaniel said in that episode and the culmination of what you were talking about, walking out at the end of the first night with him and sitting on that grassy area and talking about the pocket, what that did for me with Nathaniel was make me realize that, like, show aside, we do what we do everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that? Like, it's No Simple Road because it's our outlet, but it's who we are, and him being able to articulate that so profoundly and eloquently, and gosh, I just can't believe how he did it with such crazy partying and up all night and like so much going on. But like, to me, I think I do have to say that was probably one of my best moments of 2022 is that seeing Nathaniel and hearing his story and, like you said, all those things.
Yeah.
It was
wild.
It was amazing. But I have to get my own. And there was a whole lot of things that happened. And I know that this was a little bit later in the year, but having Swim come stay with us and going to their show with our No Simple Road family. So family plus family there, that was such a special time for me. And they got to stay and like we actually got to do No Simple Road with our family
For them,
band.
yeah.
Like, it made me feel so good. And Simon making breakfast the next morning and just doing that Instagram, giving away tickets with Chris, and like just all the things that we did that we get to do with all these other bands, with the Apollo Sons and Mojo and Family Mystic and all these wonderful bands. But we got it with, that's like our son-in-law, like our real blood family. And it just was a super special time for me. I'll never forget that.
Okay, now
I guess I'll pass it on back to
I was saying
you,
now
Apple.
we switched over. Another one, monumental one, was Peach Festival. Getting invited to that, and I think all of us, usually Aaron the most gets nerves leading up to something, and we were all. I mean, this was our first one. I mean, we were invited by Live Nation. We traveled all the way across the country to Scranton, Pennsylvania. It was a lot of planning. It was a lot of nerves getting there. And each day, we're all so proud of each other. And at the end of it, I just remember us, the three of us, like just that last day, just like hugging and like so proud of ourselves. And it always, me and Melba, that makes us feel when Aaron's like, guys, we crushed it. We crushed it together. I mean, the interviews we had with James Casey,
that was really
and Jen
special.
Hartswick and Maggie Bros, Dogs in a Pile, Daniel Donato. We got the shout out from the
Little Stranger.
Little Stranger added us in the rap and threw out a shout out.
That moment was amazing.
Like every night we had, it was even fun. Like looking back on it, we had some beef going on.
Yeah,
we squashed
we had everything.
it.
We had like
it was
adventure.
It was like a
drama.
lifetime in a weekend. Like
every festival.
Yeah,
It
went
really
through this
was.
roller coaster of emotions, and I remember. And then we went on the gondola ride, which is like everything. Couldn't have planned it better. Like the way everything worked out and stuff. We had a great time. Stay. Even looking back, staying in the dorm, like college dorms, like basic bare dorms for a couple nights, and then went to a bougie hotel for a few nights, and the entire experience.
Meeting our new friends there, Aaron's long lost sister.
Yeah,
Lauren. Oh, wow.
And hanging out with Patrick and going to the Waffle House.
Yeah,
And I mean, like so many things, like as I'm talking, it's bringing back more, but
why?
And
Why does it stick out to you like that? I'm just curious, like feeling wise, why is that
why is that one of my moments?
Yeah.
Because to me, it was one of the biggest things I did this year, even to the point of like flying into Jersey. And I was like a little kid. I got so excited when I saw the New York skyline, because I'd never been to the East Coast. And I was like, oh my God, that's the New York skyline. Like everything was so exciting, driving through seeing how beautiful like Pennsylvania is and everything.
Yeah, I
and
thought you were going to say how
Jersey.
beautiful Jersey is. I was like,
Well, I mean, parts of it are.
fair. That's fair.
And just the whole thing, that the travel, the getting to go to the East Coast. I've always been excited to see a show on the East Coast, because you hear about how the crowds are different, West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, everything.
True.
And it was so fun. It is a little more hustle bustle there.
Definitely.
And people are a little more aggressive, but not in a bad way. We were so welcomed. We felt so much kindness, and it was a magical time the entire weekend.
Yeah. Having the festival reach out to us was another one of those like, holy shit moments. Like you're going along and you're doing your thing, and it's head down doing it, and that's that. And when something like that happens, it, at least for me, it like shakes me out of my in the trenchesness of myself. It like, I don't know, it gives me a zoomed out view, and it was like, holy shit. And I remember thinking like, I really want to bring No Simple Road there. Like, not just the three of us go and do some interviews. Like I want to bring the spirit of the show with us and do what we do at Peach. And we fucking did it.
Yeah, we did.
And we did it dope. And
dude, meeting Jen and Maggie for the hugging them for the first, both of them had such different feelings for me. Like when I saw Maggie, I wanted to cry. I felt like I haven't seen my sister in forever, and I just wanted to hug her, and she was so cute, and I don't know, it was just such a...
About James Casey.
Well, him, I barely could keep my eyes dry. I even told him, I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I feel so emotional about you. I'm so grateful that you're doing this. And I just remember him saying, I don't even know why you guys want to talk to me.
I don't even know what we're going to do.
Yeah,
I said, me either,
what?
man. Let's go.
But and then hugging Jen, it was oh my God, we've been knowing each other. And it was just seeing each other again. And she was so beautiful and she smelled amazing. I remember that. And I told her that.
She
smells great. She looks great. She smells great. She plays great. Peach to me was exactly that. A peach. The perfect, ripe, smelly, delicious, juicy peach.
Yeah. And I'm just putting this out in the universe that when we left the day that we left Peach, we went and talked to our people there and talked about coming back this year and doing what we do a little bigger. And I'm working on manifesting that.
Hell yeah.
Right now, as we sit here, I'm putting that out into the universe that I want to go back there. I really want to go back. The lineup this year
is incredible.
Is wow.
Bananas.
Yeah. And yeah, man. Just let's go. I really want to make that happen.
Right.
I remember that we all decided that last day, it was that we want to do this.
It was worth every hassle, everything.
We want to do this again and again.
Yep.
And don't forget our liaison. We had
Paulo.
we had our own.
By the way.
And what about
Paulo.
Hannah? We can't forget about Hannah.
Oh, and Hannah. That's where we met.
She's
Hannah.
the first person we met that was what? And we made a friendship out of her.
And Steve, our driver. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So many things.
So,
hey, Paulo, Merry Christmas. No Simple Road. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope to see you at Peach.
So another moment that I'll throw in there was going to New York with my man for the first time.
You're stealing the moment.
I'm not.
I was
going to
say I'm surprised it took this long for that.
Well,
come up.
I mean, that happened in April.
All right, I just gotta say, dude, so between the three, you picked 3. It sucks. 3 that had 3 things that I wasn't part of, but they were all awesome things.
Well,
that ain't gonna happen
honestly,
this year.
They needed to happen with or without you. You know what I'm saying? These things. This one was special.
This one was you.
Yeah, this one was
all
special.
About you too.
It was such a vindication to finally get to there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mel had bought. So my 50th birthday was last year,
November,
and Mel had bought us YMSG tickets. And if everybody remembers, in 21, YMSG was canceled and held over until April. And so we sat on those tickets.
Yeah, we sat on those tickets. We stayed in an incredible Pineapple Hotel.
Pineapple.
I would stay there again and again. The bed was incredible. But just being the wonderment in both of our eyes and to be back to where I was born. Look, man, I haven't been to New York since Simon was an infant. So about 20 years, 19 and a half years. And when I went with you, it was so good to show you where I came from, even though we didn't go to the Bronx or didn't go. It was where I was born, and the energy that's that fills you wherever you're born. That means something. That's why it's in your friggin' birth chart. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. And so for you to kind of understand and see the people that comprise yeah my culture, people that look like me and talk like me and act like me, and it was really cool because
Yo, Chief,
It was, yeah, like just talking to it, like the guy that gave us the directions, remember? Like so many things that like I could never explain, but for you to be immersed in it, to see that, and then randomly walking and seeing
Bacon Man.
Well, Bacon Man for sure, but that's not who Luke in MS. Like, remember we were walking across, like, but just seeing everybody, not just them, John and Amy, like everybody that like, it felt like home, even though it's not my home anymore. And then like No Simple Road, like it was a trip. Too many things that were like Twilight Zone-y in the best kind of a way.
And you know, I always had this like, I don't know, I've seen too many movies and I had never been to New York City. And
you
so
told me that.
I was a little afraid to go there. Like I get social anxiety and like too much going on weirds me out sometimes and whatever. And I fucking loved it. From the minute we landed, I was like, this is amazing. And I felt like a little kid, like so excited to do everything. And just, let's walk everywhere forever. Like, let's go. And
you and your public transportation, like you had it all down on your app. Like
I knew how to get around, like walking 35 blocks uptown to go to Central Park and you won free weed.
Oh my gosh. Right when we got there, immediately.
Yeah.
That's one thing that Peach and New York had in common. I won weed and found treasures on like in both of them.
And the feeling of being there, it felt so good to be in the middle of all of that insanity and to have like a Zen inside with all that going on around you, to find your center in the middle of that is really rad. And it felt homey. It felt like I had been there before. It was comfortable and familiar, and like
I was shocked that you loved it so much. I was like, really?
I remember
I could live there.
I remember. Well,
in the city.
I was so excited for you because you called and checked. You guys checked in with me every night, and that first night you checked in, you sounded like you're like, you wouldn't believe it, dude. And I remember you saying that. It's like, I've seen too many movies about New York. This is the most amazing place. And I hear like 30 languages going on and all the people passing me. There's so much going on, but it's not bothering me. It's all so cool. You're like, you were so excited, and it was cool to hear that.
That you just get in your head about things like, I'm gonna feel ...
Yeah.
You just need to feel it. Like, don't think about feeling it. Like, what is it doing to you? What is it making you feel like? And to see your eyes like so big and like,
dude,
it was
see those iconic buildings like the Empire State Building and Madison Square Garden, and not to mention we saw 4 days of fish, and they turned MSG into an aquarium and dolphins and whales and holy shit.
Well, and that's when we met that couple that was like, look, whatever
right.
you guys do,
if you need to second mortgage your home,
do it. Go to Fish Mexico. You got to go. They were like adamant about it. They like were gonna check up on us if we didn't do it, you know. And we took your advice, and we're going to Fish Mexico. So thank you, Denise and Ron. We will see you there.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, so I just had to throw that one in because that was really special to me.
And you know, we go to a lot of shows.
Go to a fair amount.
And the local stuff that we went to this year had a common theme of like, our No Simple Road family is growing. Every show, it's a bigger and bigger and bigger group of people that are with us and not with us. Like, they're together, they're with themselves, but they're part of the No Simple Road family. And like, we made new friends this year, like Connor, and it's amazing to me the love and the community that's happening around live music and the show, and to be at all a part of that is huge, man. So going to all the local stuff this year, like we saw Goose at Pioneer Square and Pigeons. We brought Brian and Danae, and like just all the rad shit that we saw this year.
The Mojo Family
Family
Fest,
Fest.
That was really
Suds.
awesome. So was that.
All that stuff. Like, the family is growing. Look at that.
Well,
Look at the picture we took at Camp Suds.
Even I was going to say you guys weren't with me, but when I went to Summer Meltdown, I mean, it was what it was. I had a great time, but meeting No Simple Road family there when I'm by myself, buying that outfit where you bought that orange shirt from Camp Suds. Can't remember what it's called. Kathmandu. But yeah, like walking to Kathmandu and meeting them, and like hey, I know No Simple Road, and they knew Sage from Sponge, and like just the world that we get to be a part of is not just local. It's not just Portland. It really is a world, and to feel at home in New York, Pennsylvania, freaking Washington, California, that I never realized how special that would feel to me.
Yeah, to be welcomed home everywhere we go. Welcome home.
Yeah, truly.
What can we do? Like,
truly.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the beginning of this, we were talking about like the wave and the feeling of that momentum, and you know, it's been a lot of hard work this year too. Like,
okay, what's been like one of the hardest things you can think of at the top of your head? Not like
Peach.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, that was one of the hardest things that I've planned. That was a lot of work, man. And like, Osiris helped, but as far as like coordinating and planning it, that was on me. And anything can happen at a festival.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
so
with artists. Anything can happen.
Well,
and everybody that said they were going to be there was there the minute they said they were going to be there.
Yeah, they were.
It was awesome. But it was hard. It was really difficult to coordinate all that. And on top of it, I'm working a full-time job. I have a family. I have a podcast that we do every week. Like, it was another part-time job on top of my other 2 full-time jobs. It was tough.
Yeah.
What about you?
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil Story Made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
The hardest thing? Gosh, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Anytime you're stressed, it's hard to see that and to feel like you want to take something off your plate, but maybe not hard, but something that was a lot of work was No Simple Disruption. That, usually all the work goes on to you, but with No Simple Disruption, this is a group effort, and I took a lot more. We started taking weekly calls and like just different responsibilities, and to see something that was only an idea, and then now we're having a fundraiser and we're talking with these different artists and different, like, not just famous musicians, but the poets, and like there was so many moving parts to this, and it gave me a sense of pride that I can actually like step up and do it, and it also made me like appreciate what you do more, so much more. Doing No Simple Disruption gave me extra love for No Simple Road, and like an appreciation for what you really do, because it was, I didn't even do the whole thing of No Simple Disruption. Like I have a piece of it, and I felt like it was a lot. So I can't even imagine like what you're talking about, planning Peach or Skull and Roses or any Beltane, any of those festivals that we went to, when you're like you said, we're not just going to the festival beforehand. We've talked to musicians and artists and management of like where they're going to be, what time, meet under this tent. Like, here's my phone number, or let's email because we don't have cell service. Like, so many things can go wrong, and you're just consistent. And I grew a really deeper love for you this year because of all the different kind of work that I see you do.
Oh, that's cool.
It really is.
Babe. Thank you.
It's true.
And thank you for what you're doing with No Simple Disruption too, man. Like, that thing is not small.
It's not a small project at all.
And actually it premieres tomorrow.
Yeah.
It premieres tomorrow. Am I saying this right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thursday, 29th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It premieres tomorrow. So yeah, if you're listening, you can go on Apple Podcasts or your podcast player and type in No Simple Disruption, or our pilot episode is up. And like Mel's saying, it's been a lot of hard work, and
this is an older project. I mean, this first episode, like this was filmed in at the Gorge.
It was recorded from the lot at the Gorge.
Yeah. And so again, I don't need to go hash out the whole thing again, but like, I just want to say thank you for doing everything that you do, for not just like us in this house, but for like us, the greater us of like No Simple Road, No Simple Disruption, all of that stuff.
I love you guys.
Being the conductor.
Yeah.
Keeping this crazy train. This train gets crazy. You keep it on the tracks for sure.
More or less in line.
Yeah.
Together, more or less in line. Thanks. And I appreciate that.
I think that our listeners deserve to know really how hard. It's not easy. Like, these tasks, coordinating with artists is a huge undertaking.
Yeah, there's people that do it full time called managers.
Yeah, personal assistants, shit like that.
Yeah,
but like,
it's no joke.
For any number of reasons. It's not just like the artists are flaky. That's not it. They're busy. Mm-hmm. They're traveling. They're in rehearsal. They're creating. They're in time zones that are like so many things. And like, to be able to connect with them and have like these times, like you said, at Peach, everybody showed up.
Yeah.
Everyone showed up. We even had time to do stuff that wasn't planned.
Yeah, we had fun.
So it's a lot of moving parts for one person to tackle.
Have there been any challenges for you this year, Apple?
Oh, fuck yeah. The entire year has been challenging, I think, for all of us with the growing. My biggest challenge is balancing life. The life of not just having a full-time job, but working in an industry that when we moved up here, is one of the main reasons I wanted to move up here, is get in the cannabis industry. I'm 6 years into it, just like we're 5 years into this. It's been tough to balance those things. Like we were just talking about, I missed several things this year. I wasn't able to go to Dick's, and that was a monumental thing for, No Simple Road. I was there in spirit. But
we always travel with you.
Couldn't make that one. You brought up the swim thing. That life interfered, work interfered with that. I wasn't able to make that because I had to close the store. Like, balancing life. Sometimes I get mad where I work, but I love the cannabis industry. I built a huge name for myself. I love fucking doing it, and I love doing this and trying to find the balance. You guys have had to point out couple times this year, one major time this year, that I was so involved in my other job and life with that I wasn't given enough attention and respect to No Simple Road and what's going on here. And I'm still struggling with that, trying to figure out how to make that work and everything. That's been my biggest struggle.
It's not an easy problem
being
to fix.
Involved, and no, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's something that we're all kind of working on that in our own way, and that's my biggest struggle is being here enough to to be here enough.
Yeah,
I
that
guess
makes sense.
For lack of a better, I mean, that's not even lack of better words. That's been my struggle this year. I've had to miss out on some things, and that's my biggest fear too, is missing out on things. And but I love both those lives, and trying to weave these together is tough.
So go to patreon.com. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for real. Also, I mean, that's that fucking helps.
Just
man.
like, it's not. We're gonna have to take a leap. No one knows when, but like we do it all the time. We take leaps all the time, risks and chances and stuff like that. But there'll be a time, like kind of like when your kid needs you and they call you and they need you right now and you're doing shit. What are you going to do? Just be like, I'm busy? No, you drop what you're fucking doing and you go get your kid. So it'll happen like that in our life, and we don't know what the catalyst will be. We don't know.
Oh yeah, we don't know what direction anything's going to go.
Yeah, we have no idea. So, I mean, I just say to what you just said is like, that's why there's three of us, and like just being cognizant of each other's. Like, if you don't know, like I didn't know all the stuff that Aaron does because I just simply let him do it. But then when he started working from home, and I come home at like in the early afternoon and start seeing all the fucking phone calls that are coming in, and he's sitting here doing the computer while he's like on the phone, and like I sometimes wanted to cry about it. Like I felt really like a fucking heel. Like, it's my own guilt. Like, it had nothing to do with what you're saying, Apple. It's like, that's so fucking unfair. Like, we're reaping all the fun benefits, and he's literally he's pushing us up the hill. And we're like, la, 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 look over there, Apple. Like, and I just, it made me ashamed. It made me ashamed. It made me feel like, okay, you're a fucking princess. What the fuck? Like, get your ass up and do something. Like, okay, you go to work at 5 a.m. You worked 8 hours. Good. So did he. Like, what else what's your excuse now? Like, you're sitting on the fucking couch. He's on his phone fucking, posting another thing. Like, what are you doing? And it just really, this 2022 really showed me a lot of myself and like how I waste my time, or how I don't utilize the time that I do have. And it made me get real with myself. It made me like, you know what? Who fucking cares what Apple's doing? Who cares what anyone else is doing? What are you doing? What aren't you doing? And I had to really answer some of those questions. And I started to do something about it. I stopped feeling bad about it and started to do something about it. I didn't stay in that shameful feeling for too fucking long, because it just doesn't.
It's not a good place to be.
It's not a good place to me.
Let's be fair too. Nobody's holding a gun to my head.
No, and that has nothing to do with it. Your workload and what you do for the show. 1, nobody asked you to do it. 2, nobody's expecting you to do it. And 3, nobody cares if you do it. No. If you got,
well, I'd say 4. He loves doing it.
Yes, he does.
Like he said, that he has found. You said it time and time again. You have found what you feel you were meant to do.
Yes.
Yep, I do. And but
let me just finish this.
It's hard.
It's very hard, and it's not to put smoke up your ass. These are like my own realizations. These are like my own personal things that I may not share all the time.
This is the first I've ever heard this.
Yeah. Well, because it's coming up.
This is hot off the press.
It's really hot off the press. But like, yeah, like, everybody wants like their partner to like take care of them and like treat them great and like do all this stuff. And like you do, and then you do more, this is all for the show. You do so much for me personally every fucking day that I can't even talk about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much. You wake me up with coffee every freaking morning. Like, you don't need to be up at 4 a.m., but I do. So you can wake up with me. Like, these has nothing to do with No Simple Road. So you're doing so much. And I just want you to know that I appreciate it. And I'm sorry about not doing something for so long. It's my own thing. It's not, you didn't make me feel like that's me.
I don't even know what to say.
Nothing.
I don't.
It doesn't
I say,
require.
yeah.
It doesn't require
Okay.
anything.
Well, I'll just say
I love
as
you.
Aaron's friend, for Aaron knows what he loves and he loves it.
Yeah.
You've done that you've fucking amazed. You especially amazed me. We've talked about this ever since Mel came into your life. You have constantly amazed me at how you continue to step up and continue to do things. I can't fathom some of the things like you guys raising kids together, all the things you've done in 25 fucking years to see my best friend do all these things and just keep doing, like you said, Mel, always finds the time, and not just for you, but like for everybody that's a part of your life, dude. You fucking kill it, dude.
Thanks, man.
Fucking kill it. You're a special motherfucker.
Thanks. My ears are hot.
Yeah,
They should be, dude.
They should be.
You are,
like,
dude.
It's especially talking about, like, if we're talking about like the whole year and all the stuff that No Simple Road has done. Me and Apple didn't do none of that shit. You booked every fucking thing that we did. Even down to the concert tickets. Like, you booked everything. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have done shit. And I'm not saying,
Well, we would have gone to.
We would have gone to MSG. That's the only
we would have made it to some shows.
And I'm not saying that Apple and I aren't capable. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm saying you preemptively and continuously do that. And so
I love this shit.
I
man.
know you do. And it's you've literally molded and shaped our life to what it is right now. All 3 of our lives. And if we're being honest, all 4 of our lives, because when you decided to move, we moved with a posse, you know? And
Yeah.
and you're right, Apple. He doesn't just take time for me. He takes time with everybody.
Yeah.
And I love you, babe,
I love
so
you too.
much.
Thanks. I love this. I love you guys and you guys listening. Like, it's real. I do. And yeah, I'm sitting here doing the computer and editing the show and on a call at work and whatever.
Well, and the other day, remember Jeff was on the phone. You were on a call at work. You were sitting down over here at the computer. Like, you got your fucking thing beeping. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'd be pissed all day long. I'd either have to start smoking weed again all day, every day, or I'd be angry.
No, I start pounding coffee the minute I wake up and I go hard in the paint and then I crash.
Well,
that's my secret. Now I have a coffee
it's
alarm
very
clock.
It's very admirable there, fucking conductor.
Thanks,
And-
man. Yeah, I just at this point, this far in, I don't know what else to do. Honest to God. Like, the thought of not doing this, I'm pointing at the mic, anymore, doesn't even make sense in my head. Like, and it's not even about like people listening on any level. Do you get what I mean by that?
It's not for the
It's
likes.
No. This thing is full on therapy. We talk about shit when we come down here that has been brewing
Yeah.
for weeks sometimes. And I'm not even talking about the interviews.
No, I know what you're saying. Like, well, clearly, like right now, I didn't plan on saying, we were talking about our favorite
Yeah, we're
moments of
talking about
2022.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on being nice to you.
Yeah, right? Thanks.
Well, I could just remember too. You've always, as long as I've known, been a person like very much a listener. You've loved. I'm very like Howard Stern back in the day. You're like
shit.
you were like, wouldn't that would be the dopest job ever? Like to be on radio, to do this or that. You've always had a mind, which is also awesome to see as we're getting older, because I'm sure Mel does too. In fact, I know Mel does because we've mentioned it. You've mentioned it. I see so many your dad had so many awesome traits and everything, and like you got so many good ones, and I see it in you sometimes, the way you work and the way you go about things.
The thing that's different about this for me, I've always been somebody that, like, when I do something, I would go all the way, like drugs, fucking whatever,
love,
art
with with me too. Like, you freaking dove right 1,000% in.
But with for a very long time in my life, it would be all the way halfway. It would be all the way until I felt like I did it, and then I'd stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like completed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I got to where
I
I wanted
did that thing. What's next? What's the next thing? Like, I'm
On to
going
the
all the way
next.
with this thing, did it, next. And as I'm getting older, it's the consistency in doing the things that I've found is the key, right? Like, I didn't understand that when I was younger. And if I had come to myself with a time machine and told myself that, I would have told myself to go fuck myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't have the capacity to get it. And like, there have been times since we started No Simple Road when I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I'm done. Like,
That's fair. That's normal fucking
yeah.
fatigue, you know?
but like, the thought of it being gone, it like doesn't make sense in my head. There's no done this. Does that make sense? Like,
Yes.
I found a way to to do something that there's no end to it.
You created something that I think that your dad would be so proud of you, because you found a thing kind of like he did. His was like, it was like one thing, then the next thing, and this is two, but it's all encapsulated in No Simple Road. So even it's planning for the next thing, and sometimes not quite completely enjoying the thing, your moment you're in. It's all in that thing, So you created something that's continuous for you to continue creating and being in, and for us too, for me and Mel
it feeds
as well.
you in the sense that it like you said, not only your talents but also your idiosyncrasies of needing to plan and planning ahead and having calendar booked, and like, it may be small, but it's not small to you. You've always been like that. Even before No Simple Road, you always wanted to like go on a vacation and like putting stuff on the calendar at work, and like, that's always something that you've been like into. And so like, you've even satiated that longing in yourself to like keep after movement, like keep going.
Perpetual motion.
Next thing in a positive, healthy way. And even like with your instrument, like, you're doing the same thing that you were just talking about with your instrument. Like, you're giving it the consistency that it deserves, instead of feeling like, oh, I know how to play guitar. That's it. And now you're like, no, I'm learning the craft of playing specifically. Like, I'm not just picking it up and can noodle around and make something cute. Like, it's really cool to see you grow into your own.
You guys too, man. Like, I remember when I'd have to kick and scream. You'd be like, oh, fuck, another concert. Like,
yeah.
And
I was.
Apple would just be silent through half the interview, and like, it was tough. But I can't pretend that like I had some grand design.
No.
I was like, okay, I figured it out.
This is something that's just worked out to be so beautifully. It's like when you see your kid, and their teeth are kind of too big for their face, but you still think they're cute. And then they grow up and they're freaking beautiful. Like, you have faith in the thing, but you
face
can't.
catches up to their teeth.
Yeah, you can't see it yet. And that's what I feel like has happened here. Like, I didn't ask to be on No Simple Road, if you remember. Like,
neither of you did, actually.
No,
yeah, no one. Yeah,
nobody. That wasn't my dream, or I never secretly wanted to be anything. I just wanted to be a great mom and have a happy family. Like, a good wife, and like I was more specific in my life. I didn't care to be known or talk to cool people. Didn't matter. I was living a really great life until you came along. And then no, but it's just, I guess 2022 has really just shed a lot of light on the gratitude that I have for No Simple Road, but for the creator of No Simple Road. For real. Like all of the arms of that.
I appreciate that. And I'm glad that, like, thank
That's
God,
my favorite thing of
God
2022.
it's not just me.
I think we can agree on that.
Thank God
Aaron's
it's
our
not just me. It's not. I couldn't do this without you guys.
I know.
I really. For
No,
real,
I do know that. You need a wind beneath your wings.
No, yeah, for sure.
You need that.
And there's definitely something special with our relationship, the three of us, and what it puts out. And that's the thing that I love. Like, going to shows is fucking awesome. I love it. Talking to musicians is fucking awesome. I love it. Knowing that we put that out, whatever that is the thing, right? Like, that's what I love. That's why I don't mind 50 phone calls and the computer beeping and edit. I don't mind that, because I know, like, of course it's not in the top of my mind all the time, but it's in here that I get reminded of it all the time. There's No Simple Road family letting us know what this thing does all the time. And that's dope. Like, without playing music, I get to be a musician and give people the feeling that I get when I go to shows without having to fucking do that thing. Like, I figured that out. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like, it goes back, like what you guys were saying to the thing with Nathaniel at Dick's.
Dude.
The way he broke that down and not describe, but the way he broke that down and
like what it meant to him.
Yeah, and spoke the way he did about it, like, wow.
It was like boom, 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 boom. Like,
yeah.
It was like God speak. It felt like that. I'm telling you, it felt as powerful as the most powerful sermon that I've ever heard. It felt like he was speaking only truth. It felt like his voice was thunder.
Well, he was speaking his truth. Like,
but it felt universal. It felt like,
well, and when you say, I mean, we found out before that and since that, we get that back all the time now from all, like, now we were like from Ben and Tiff and Bree and Cody and Jen and Braid, like everybody in our life, Connor joining the family, all these people,
Jason and Audrey,
Bryce and the Sponge, but like all this community that's around us, that's welcomed us into their communities and ours to form this, like we always say, this mycelial network, which is just getting bigger and
it's a
stronger
hell of a web. It
all
really
the time.
is. Yeah, it is.
What was the most relaxing musical moment?
I don't know if it was relaxing, but it was so fucking beautiful. Going to see Rising Appalachia. You guys weren't there. It was me and Danae, and Tiffany joined us a little bit into it. And like,
as the Raverts are wont to do.
No, well, she came on her own. But one of the best moments was, one, discovering that I loved banjo at Summit with Tom Neckville. 2, receiving my banjo for my birthday. And then 3, going to see Rising Appalachia right after that. It was it infiltrated my cellular system. Like, there was, and then scheduling 2 banjo interviews back to back with Billy Failing, and then I think it was another, I can't remember who else.
Eric?
I know Eric we did, but I think it was somebody else in between there. But it just so like hearing those girls and then being inspired by another woman too, because you know we just don't see as many female musicians, not for no reason, but like we just haven't. So seeing those 2 sisters and their goddesses up there and they're playing the banjo and it was just that it made me feel, I don't want to say relaxed, but like cradled.
And they're in our pilot episode of No Simple Disruption.
Yes,
Shameless
they are.
plug.
Yes, they are. That was a whole other, that was the real reason why I solidified going, because I had just come back from Summer Meltdown and Northwest String Summit.
You were on a bender.
I was on a bender and I came back home, got dressed, and went to a freaking concert. Like, it was bananas, but it was worth it.
The reason I asked, we were talking about the No Simple Road family and like, you know, Nathaniel and our Pacific Northwest fam
crew
up here is amazing. Like Bodie Mojo and Sponge and the Garcia Birthday Band, and just I was thinking about Mojo Family Fest.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't do any extracurriculars at that festival. I had a blast. I was sick, had a blast. It was the most chill, fun, relaxing.
Yes, it was.
It was like a vacation. Like,
we had our bitchin' ass tent
it was
for the first
wonderful,
time.
Man. Like 2022 taught me to up my camping game and get my shit together because I live in Oregon.
Yeah,
I'll say that for 2022. Yeah, man. Thanks, you guys. I didn't expect that.
I just want to say one last thing that has nothing to do with you, but Family Mystic, the last time that they came here for their interview, something happened in this room while we were all sitting here. It was so special listening to Animal Song that Matthew wrote. It like, I felt like time stopped and we got to share that moment, and then it started again while we were in this interview. And then when I went to Family Fest a few weeks back, I was able to do some Christmas shopping, and I found my mom this flute. And Love was supposed to make my mom a flute, but because they're so busy and I didn't get back with them and like just blah, 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 whatever, didn't work out. But when I go to Family Fest and I see Love's flute teacher, maker there, and I was able to buy a flute from him. I didn't even see the flute. He didn't even have the flute with him. He just said, "This is the one you need for your mom." And then I was able to bring it to my mom and to hear her playing it like a little girl. And at the time she had on this dress that she had made, and just she looked so cute, and like it brought all of this like kind of like thoughts to me, like back in this room with Family Mystic, emailing and back and forth with Love, picking up her flute with Ben, and like none of these things would have happened without No Simple Road. And I'm just Family Mystic. I just want to thank you so much for who you are. Nothing else, just for being who you are.
Yeah, sweet,
I love you so much.
People, man.
Family Fest was beautiful. It was amazing. And like to help that gift to heal my mom, and like it meant so much to me. And I just didn't want to finish this year without mentioning Family Mystic specifically, because they, to me, are probably one of the most profound, youngest bands that we've ever come across.
I mean, 100%. And we would be remiss if we didn't also thank Sponge for welcoming us to
Sponge. Sage is a sage.
Yeah.
Sage is a sage. He truly is.
I was going to say, we were talking about, like, like, and it's funny too, like picking a relaxing moment and all the craziness that we do.
That's kind of why I asked.
But like he said, that, like, you know, Mojo Family Camp Suds was that too. Like that weird little location, like how you get off, and it's almost like a secret to get to it, going under the railroad tracks. And it was so enjoyable the entire weekend. We met new friends and family there. Who was
Super Bloom
in the booth next to us.
Anyway,
there's the Catmandu and gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Several of the vendors and everything, but that was so awesome. And I felt so at home just wandering around everywhere. Everywhere we turned, there was somebody else, and then we got to go on stage.
That's why
Saturday.
Why I brought this up, because of what Sage did for us.
Yeah, and that's we went on that stage and
how they created
they like brought like we got special chairs, and they're like, you need a coffee table. They set it up for us. I felt so taken care of and so comfortable throughout that entire thing. And then all the musicians that were there, and it was that one, to me, of all the things we did, that was I felt so relaxed and comfortable and like in my skin. And that was thanks to, you know, Sponge and the boys for throwing that Camp Suds down there.
And it was Andre and Rebecca.
Andre and Rebecca, thank you. We love you, Andre and Rebecca.
So here's the thing. We're going to keep doing it. That's that.
Aaron, don't talk like that in front of everybody.
Hey, it's the truth. It's the truth, Roof. No, we're going to keep doing this thing, man, and see where it goes.
Yeah, we're going to try to do different shit, better shit, same shit too, because we all love the same stuff too.
If we surprise ourselves.
If you happen,
we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen.
You want to talk about something surprising?
What's that?
February 15th, we're going to be in Asheville hosting
MC
John Medeski and friends. They're doing a fundraiser for us,
for our
No Simple Disruption
project.
It's craziness. It is John Medeski and friends, which is O'Teal, Vernon Reed, Brian Jackson, Maggie Rose, DJ Logic. Did I say O'Teal?
Yeah.
Well, you can say him again, because O'Teal twice is never a bad thing.
Double O'Teal.
Double O'Teal is twice.
What does
nice.
it mean?
And it's going to be an incredible evening of music, poetry, hosted by us. It is at the Salvage Station on February 15th. You can get your tickets at the Salvage Station website or nosimpleroad.com. They are $20 advance, 25-day show. We'd love it if you could come be there with us. We would
so love it.
I just have to say that, like, I am so blown away that that's how we're rolling into 23. And onward and upward, folks.
Onward and upward.
No Simple Road family. Let's do this. We love you guys. We will be back on Friday with Polyrhythmics.
Woo!
And
Polyrhythmics.
Yeah. Or
no.
I'm sorry.
No, Polyrhythmics.
Yeah, they just heard it. They just heard
Hopefully you already heard Polyrhythmics.
Well, we're going to see Polyrhythmics.
That's what I was thinking. We're going to be back on Friday with Jay Blakesberg and Ricky Blakesberg.
Yes.
That's right.
For all of you. And
we're going to see Polyrhythmics on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yes.
For New Year's Eve.
And Garcia Birthday Band on Friday. So, yeah, hey, if you don't have anything to do on Saturday, if there's tickets still available, you are more than welcome to come boogie with us at Polyrhythmics. And until then, take care of each other and smile at a stranger. And
love one another, love yourself.
We're going to get another one before New Year, but just have a happy
Another
New Year.
one what?
Another episode, right? Or is this it?
This is it.
This is it?
Friday
as far as a rewind.
Whoa.
And then it will be 2023. Yeah. We'll see you
next year.
No, we'll see you Friday.
Well, from this episode.
Yeah. For a rewind. If we haven't confused
they
you
don't know what I mean, but I know what I mean.
I know what Mel means. Do you know what Mel means? We're going to go now. We love you guys. Peace.
Y'all figured it out.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Henry Kay, host of the #1 music history podcast, Rootsland. Come with me on a journey to Kingston, Jamaica, where we explore the world of reggae music and the untold stories of some of the genre's greatest legends. From the ghettos and tenement yards where the music was born, to the island's iconic recording studios. We are so excited to team up with Osiris Media, the leading storyteller in music, because as you'll hear, sometimes the story is the best song.